no, she didn't. Oh, no, she did not. What's up, everyone? David Barnett here. Wanted to make a quick video because there I was minding my own business, scrolling through YouTube when I come across a video that this lady had made, 602 Travels, about the top 10 reasons why Huntsville, Alabama sucks. I'm a Huntsville native, and I love Huntsville, so I wanted to talk about her 10 points and why most of them, I'll give her a couple of points because that's fair, most of them are inaccurate. And so let's just jump right into it because some of them are really frustrating. So top 10, number 10, fake mean people. She says that bless your heart is a real condescending term. I can't say that real well, but you know what I'm trying to say. That's not true. I think she just looked up what that means. I don't know. Somebody said it to her when she visited or something. I don't know. She said they'll look at you like you're an idiot, but that's not true. Typically, that term is meant really endearing. Now, we do say it in a condescending way at times, but for the most part, people mean well, and I love the people of Huntsville. We all have bad apples in every city because, you know, they're all people, and not everybody's from here, just so you know. A lot of people aren't, but, you know, over 200 people, over 200,000 people here, and we're bound to have a couple bad apples, but for the most part, people are really friendly here. I talk to anyone. You can tell I love to talk. I talk to, from cops to homeless people, okay? Everyone that I talk to is really friendly. I never have issues. So that's a point for me. We're moving on. I want to keep the video pretty quick for you. Number 9, she says a car is needed. Reluctantly, I will give her her first point. Although, you know, the downtown Huntsville area and, you know, parts of Madison are being reconstructed to include bike lanes and that sort of thing. I know our mayor is real passionate about, you know, making everything a little bit better in our area. You are going to need a car. Everything is, you know, less than 10 minutes away, though. You can get anywhere, just about anywhere in 10 minutes, which is real convenient. Traffic's not too bad, especially if you hit the interstate, whatever. So I'll give her that one, and honestly, it's a little too hot to walk around most days anyway, which we'll get there as well. So what's the score? Yeah, 1-1. So I gave her 1. Didn't want to, but I did. Number 8, she said we have huge bugs. From roaches, spiders, mosquitoes the size of your fist, and hornets and ants. We have bugs. We have bugs. I've been a lot of places though. I've been in Arizona, I've been in South Carolina, Washington, New England, wherever, Alaska, well, maybe not Alaska, but you name it, you know, there's bugs there. I've seen them in person, so I don't see why that's a reason to not move to Huntsville or not move to our area or why it sucks, because we have bugs everywhere in this country, so I'm not going to give her a point for that. We do have bugs. Everywhere has bugs. So that's not a fair point against us. And let me go on to say that, you know, we have very affordable pest control. Most pest control options, you know, under $100 a month, or you can even pay quarterly and you can do a cheaper plan, whatever. I'm not a pest control guy, but call one of them and you can get prices quoted. They're not expensive. Sorry I'm talking so fast. I am trying to keep the video short. Number 7, she says the schools aren't good. I take personal offense to that. I have 6 kids. They are in the school system, in Huntsville City Schools, in Huntsville High School, Huntsville Junior High, and they were in the Grissom school system at one point, but we moved. But unless you're like a subject matter expert on everything, you are not going to be able to compete with the electives there. Jess was looking at the sheet from my son the other day, you know, anything from robotics to real estate investing. There's just too many to mention. And like I said, she said, here's the funny thing. She said, you need to opt to homeschool in order to give kids the skills that they need to function in the real world. And I'm just like, okay, whatever. Because obviously that's not true. She's not going to be able to, or you're not going to be able to homeschool your kids and offer them the same kind of education that our public school has. Not to mention, we have great homeschool and co-op homeschool programs and private schools, and our public schools. Some of them are in the top of the country and most of them are in the top of the state. So I don't know where she's getting at. So that's another point from me. That is now 3-1. I don't know how to do 3, whatever. 3-1. Number six. She says crime. First off, I leave my car unlocked, I leave my house unlocked. I'm probably a great target for crime, and please don't get ideas. I'm probably a great target for that. I leave my wallet in the car, keys in the car. Heck, I leave it running sometimes, whatever. I've never had an issue with crime. I don't know anybody that has an issue with crime. Like I said, I've talked to cops, police officers here, and they don't. Crime is not something that we just deal with. I've been to other cities where I'm terrified. Got lost in the Bronx one time, funny story. But anyway, it's not an issue. So, false. She did say on that same note that as long as you mind your business and don't drive like an idiot. Well, first off, mind your own business, okay? You should mind your own business. If you're a Robert Kiyosaki fan like me, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, there's a whole chapter in that about minding your own business, so you should take that advice. And don't drive like an idiot. I would encourage you to not drive like an idiot. And she said you should be fine if you don't do those two things. So I don't know if she did both of those things. Maybe she was not minding her business and driving like an idiot, and maybe she fell victim to crime. I don't know. Moving on, I'm going to give that to me because I deserve it. Number 5 really kind of pissed me off a little bit. She said, it's Alabama. It's Alabama. Cousin loving good old boys admitting you're from Alabama will have people, I'm referring to my notes to quote her verbatim, admitting you're from Alabama will have people questioning what type of person you are, and that, Alabama natives drive like a 1986 Camaro Trans Ams and they have drinking problems. Let's talk about the drinking problem first. Unless it's sweet tea or like Mountain Dew, I would disagree with the drinking problem. And let's talk about the Camaro Trans Am. Who doesn't want a 1986 Camaro Trans Am? Am I right? All right. And if I tell you that I am from Alabama and you start questioning what type of person I am based on that information, you're the problem. So I'm gonna give me another point because that's just not, the fact that it is Alabama is not a good enough reason for Alabama to suck. I think that's stupid, completely stupid. So it shouldn't even be on this list. I think she ran out of reasons and needed to make a top 10 video because top 9 doesn't sound as good. So whatever, I'm gonna give myself another point. What's that, like 4-2? 4-1, 5-1, 5-1. Number 4, it's closed on Sundays. I don't know if she was like looking at a magazine article from the 50s, but we're not closed on Sundays. You can go to Walmart's. You can go anywhere, Target, Publix, wherever you want to go. Because she says if you're out of your favorite stick of Dio, or you need to pack up on Pall Malls, which I thought was hilarious because it's not pronounced Pall Malls. She's talking about Pall Malls, cigarettes. You can get those from any gas station or convenience store. And she said you need to stockpile on things that you can't live without. That's just not true. You can literally go anywhere on Sunday except for, maybe like mom and pop restaurants. Speaking of mom and pop restaurants, if you're in town and you want to hit up one, check out Rosie's Cantina. I used to work there and I loved it. So number 3, I'm going to give a point for me because, like I said, this is like 60 years ago. Football is everything. Everything is planned around football, and you need to know football in order to make friends. Please don't schedule events around those games. Okay, yeah, please don't do that. We don't like that. That is true. Football is everything. Would you love that? But only a couple of months out of the year, really in the fall, and mostly just Saturday, right? So you don't need to know football in order to make friends, though. That's not true. That part's not true because we're friendly. We're Southern hospitality. We kind of embody that. So I don't feel like that is fair. But we do care about football. We do. So I'll give her the point. That's her second point. And we'll move on. Number 2. So let's pause because her number 2 is... pause. Let's pause. Let's pause. How do you pause? Time out. Yeah, pause. Let's pause and say miserable weather. She says, she made another video like 4 or 5 months ago about Huntsville, Alabama. Maybe the places to visit or something like that. And in her introduction, she talks about how great Huntsville is and how it has 4 seasons. Well, first off, she's wrong. I think I said first off a lot. I should get a first off counter and put it on the video. She is wrong. We don't have 4 seasons. We have 2. We have hot and we have cold. And it's quite often that we have hot and cold in the same day, which is also really fun when you go to work with a sweater and you leave with a short sleeve shirt on. That's hilarious. So I'll give her miserable weather, but everybody has miserable weather. Everybody has rain and things like that. So it's really humid. I mean, we don't mind it. You dress accordingly. Once you're from here, you'll understand it. I've been to Washington State, was there for like a month and a half, and I think it rained every day but one, and on that day it snowed. So, the topic of weather that most people do want to talk about is tornadoes. I think people are terrified of those. We're not really, but most people are terrified of tornadoes, and so That's not really Huntsville, Madison, though. Huntsville, I live in Huntsville. I never had an issue with tornadoes. That's mostly like Harvest, Hazel Green, Tony area, north of Huntsville and Madison. We call that Tornado Alley, which is kind of funny, but most of those houses do have storm shelters, and there's community storm shelters. So there are, things in place for you to be safe. So whatever. I'll give her miserable weather. I'll give it to her just because, she needs the points. And that would make it 6-3. Her number one reason, let's go back to her 4 or 5 month ago video where she talks about Huntsville in the intro, and I'm going to take these words right out of her mouth. She says Huntsville's great because it has low unemployment, high paying jobs, and it's continuously ranked as a top place in the country to live. So all these people that do all these surveys about the top places to live apparently don't know as much as this lady does. Because she talked about how it's bad. She says, unless you're a rocket scientist, you cannot afford to live in a good area. False. She said there's poor quality of life. Also false. There's art scenes, concerts in the park on Mondays, there's concerts in the docks, there's all low meal. You can literally, it's fantastic, and it's constantly changing and constantly growing. That's what that's what makes Huntsville so great and Madison so great. Hit a Trash Pandas game, whatever you want. It's fantastic to live here. The quality of life is great. Income, also not a problem. Plenty of people have single household incomes where the mom stays home or the dad stays home or whatever. Like, that's not very common everywhere else, I don't feel like. So that's not a fair point either. Income's great. She even says high-paying jobs and low unemployment in her other introduction video. So the fact that she would even put that on there is really kind of funny. She says internet speeds. I wouldn't list internet speeds personally, but we have great internet speeds. I have Google Fiber, 1 terabyte. I have 6 kids. They are always on the internet. I'm on the internet. We never have issues with speed. So that's just a stupid point. I don't know where she got that from. And high cost of living, also not true. I live in a great area of town, close to downtown in Huntsville, and my house is very affordable. The area is really affordable. There's still houses you can get for first-time home buyers. We still have things that, $200,000, $300,000 price range, you still can buy houses. So I try spending that much anywhere else. Go to Memphis. Go to, that's a similar size city. Go to anywhere, Birmingham, Montgomery, and all these other places in Alabama and all these other places in the entire country are very expensive. So we are very affordable to live in. So that whole point is I'm throwing it out. It's gone. It's gone out of here. So anyway, in case you're new to this channel, which you likely are because this is the first video, please like and subscribe that thing down there, that bell thing down there. Please hit that, and you can get notifications. You can turn notifications off. Either way, I would appreciate the support. If you are moving to Huntsville or Madison area and you need a good mortgage lender, please let me know. 256-714-4705. I had to throw a little pitch in there at the end. Anyway, yeah, I really appreciate you watching the video and taking the time. If you have any questions, you can also reach me at thelendingguys@gmail.com. So you can also follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and soon TikTok. So I appreciate you guys. Have a great day and take it easy.